I recently had to get an MRI, and I didn't think too much about it going in. I have been in lots of stressful situations over the last 28 years in my field, and I really didn't consider that an MRI was something that I had to worry about. But something happened after they slid me into that tube, just moments after it started. Started to panic, and I was not anticipating that. The machine is tighter than you imagine, or you imagine it tighter than it is, one of the two. Your arms are almost touching the sides, your head is locked in place. They give you a call button to, to alert them when you need to be pulled out of the machine, all in anticipation of stress. This all happens, and you feel in a moment as though you're not going to be able to do this. Probably 90 seconds into this situation, I started to realize that I really had to focus on what I was thinking because I could not get all of the negative thoughts out of my head. So I had to calm myself, calm my breathing, focus on something else other than the fact that this machine was completely encapsulating me, and there was no way I was getting out of this machine without somebody else helping me. So to get those thoughts out of my head, I just started focusing on the music, focusing on my family, and I was able to come out of the other side of it remarkably, because I didn't think I was going to make 17 minutes, but I managed to, and by the end, I was actually feeling pretty good about it. You see, nothing around me had changed. I wasn't in danger. There wasn't anything to be worried about. There were no threats, nothing to stress me out. My mind was taking my thoughts and using them against me. My thoughts were causing more bad thoughts. And I had to control the narrative. I had to grasp it, take control of it, and intentionally change the things I was thinking in order to get off that track. You know, later in the day, after I had the MRI, something really hit me. And I realized, how often do we do this to ourselves in daily life? I know I do it constantly. We allow our thoughts to derail where we're going, what we're doing, and how we feel. And, it's silly, sounds silly to say, but our thoughts dictate our thoughts. Many, many times, that is in fact what happens. And I know I personally do it all the time. So it was really a really good example of how your mind can control where you're headed and what you're thinking. If you can take a hold of things, control the narrative, you can change where you are mentally and emotionally with nothing else. Just changing the thought pattern, controlling it, seizing it, and doing with your mind what you choose to do. Whatever the situation, we tell ourselves, this is going badly. I'm not going to be able to do this. This is too much. The more we repeat that story, the more it becomes so. And I think it's powerful to realize that you can actually change that and make it go the other way. Make it go into a place of positivity. And that's going to help you. It's going to help your productivity. It's going to help the way you feel. It's going to help the way you feel, not just mentally or emotionally, but physically. Super powerful experience that I had. That MRI lasted about 17 minutes, but it taught me something very important. Sometimes the biggest challenge we face isn't the situation that we're in. It's the story we're telling ourselves up here. And if we can get a hold of that, we can change the narrative and control the situation. This is true in midlife. It's true with stress. It happens in everything, our work, our finances, our home life. It's constantly eating away. We start looking at things through a negative lens, and everything starts to feel heavy. It starts to feel oppressive. This MRI, what it really showed me is our thoughts are very powerful, but they're not always truthful. And sometimes the most important thing we can do is just pause and ask ourselves, is it really as bad as I think it is? Or am I just crafting this thing in my mind? You can deliberately change the narrative. Instead of thinking, I can't do this, you say to yourself, I can do this. Instead of saying, this is terrible, you can say, this is uncomfortable, but it's temporary. Sometimes the difference between panic and peace is just the story we tell ourselves. And if we can learn to guide our thoughts instead of letting them just run wild, it can change not just our experience inside an MRI machine, but it can change the way that we experience life. Have you ever had a moment where your mind convinced you that something was worse than it actually was? Surely I'm not alone. So if you have, man, I would love to hear about it down in the comments. If you're a man navigating midlife and trying to do it intentionally, consider subscribing. That's what this channel is all about. I hope you found something of use out of this video, or at least enjoyed it to some degree. And I hope to see you in the next one. Take care.